Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day, and welcome to a video where we're going to be talking about what I think is one of the biggest weeks of Wizard101 had in the recent past. Now, you don't have to believe me, believe the goddamn numbers. So if you actually look at the Steam charts, which yes, Wizard101 is on Steam if you didn't know, they experienced what I believe is a peak playership type number since Lemuria came out, which we're talking about in the past 10 months. Now, obviously, this data is a little faulty because Steam is, a very small portion of the number of people who play Wiz, but I think it's enough people where I do think you can maybe start extrapolating some data. And I think one thing that we should consider is that this week was as successful in terms of increasing the number of people who play the game as a new world coming out, which I think even being close to that is literally nuts. So if you guys actually look at the numbers, right, the peak number of people that actually logged into Wiz through Steam during, on any given day was basically 900 when Lemuria came out, and they basically reached that this time around. It was 867. Now, obviously, this is because of the whole controversy with the disgruntled employee news that came out, all the messages that were sent through the message board, the little announcement thing. Unless you're literally living under a rock, you knew about this happening to Wiz. And as a result, they obviously gave out member benefits for everyone. They gave free membership. But I still think, despite all the free stuff that we were given, I still think this is huge, huge news. Now, the reason why I think this is so big is because I actually think that Steam is a massive underestimate of how people actually log on to Wiz. When you Google Wiz, when you search Wizard101 on Google, right, or any search engine, I would assume, the Wizard101 Steam page is not the first thing that comes out. It's actually the Wizard101 website. So if you saw the fact that, oh my god, Wizard101 got hacked, they're compensating, they're giving out free membership, they're giving out free member benefits. If you saw all this news hit and your next instinct is, oh, I want to play Wiz, I want to see what this game's all about, you probably searched Wiz and you most probably saw the actual Wizard101 website and installed the launcher through there. But basically, based on the numbers on Steam, the number of average players during this event that logged into Wiz through Steam almost doubled. So let's say you're even being somewhat unrealistic with how representative Steam is of the overall Wiz base. Even getting close to doubling your population of a much larger number of people that play Wiz, not the people that log in through Steam, the people that log in through the launcher, even getting close to that is actually nuts. And that's what I really want to talk about in this video, right? They did something this week that they've never done before. They gave the players something that they actually wanted. And it's gotten a lot of people talking. So many people are back. If it's true that the player base even came close to doubling, then there really needs to be a conversation about how they can do this in Wiz more often and make it sustainable for the company to keep going as well. I don't think it's a mystery that the one thing holding back this game more than anything is, one, its age. I guess that's one thing. But two, if you're a player that actually wants to experience the game, the membership will always be a huge paywall. You don't get to experience the game before the membership kicks in. And a lot of people were talking about how they actually enjoy just being a member just for the member benefits. I feel like if they made a system where you pay membership just for the member benefits alone, and then made the game much more free to play, almost like a premium version of the game and a non-premium version, I feel like that could help a lot of people experience the game, and eventually, if they actually like it, they will spend money on the game over time. Now, I think it's also an important time to look at the numbers that came out from an MGI press release. If you guys are unfamiliar, MGI is a company that acquired KingsIsle a while ago, and they were basically talking about their sources of revenue, and I think it's really, really crazy to notice this, but even a few years ago, maybe a few months ago, right, the major source of their revenue still came from microtransactions in the form of crowns and bundles. Membership was about a third of it, meaning if you can actually get the people that pay membership to actually buy more crowns in place of it, that's a great way to do it. Or you can just get more people to play the game that wouldn't have otherwise played the game because of membership, and they can spend more crowns. There are ways to make up this revenue, and there's a new form of membership that a lot of people are supporting to do it with. What these people are basically saying is that make the game free to play and have a membership option if you just want to have the member benefits, if you want double pet XP all the time, if you want double gardening, if you want unlimited crafting. These are things that make the game, especially as you get to a higher level, much more fun and enjoyable to play, but you don't need them. It's just a time crunch. That's all it is. If I'm doing a bunch of Beast Moon, I could just craft a bunch of seeds every day, or I could do them all at once at my convenience because I have a member benefit. If I want to make a really OP pet, I could take my time with it, or if there's a double pet XP thing that's happening, like a member benefit, I'll make it twice as fast. That's something I would want. What this insane increase in numbers shows to me is that if there isn't a new world coming out, people cancel their membership and leave. And the only people that are left playing the game are the ones that probably would keep their membership anyways, because at that point they're hardcore players and they just like all the benefits that they get in the meantime. So why not experiment with making the game more free and actually having this sheer number of players play? And this is basically based off of 1 week. Imagine the number of people that might actually become long-term players if the game were actually free. I'm a huge believer in momentum, and I really hope that they don't waste the momentum that they got, because I'll be honest, man, if you can't make lemonade out of lemons, you're kind of messing up when you're a company that just has all the resources that KingsIsle does. They just went through a crazy acquisition. They have so much money that they could probably use on this. I don't see them having any better time to actually experimenting with a new form of membership altogether. I will say this, I think it's awfully convenient for a player like me or you that's watching this to like just say, oh, just make it free, it'll be fine. I get it. I'm sure there's a lot of sustainability issues. Like, we're talking about literal employees of the company, right? Like, we're talking about real people that get affected by big changes like that. And obviously, you know, if you make the game free, you don't know if in the long term that'll benefit the game as much as, you know, 10 days. But I'll say this, I know KingsIsle very well. They said that they would make the game free and they would enable every member benefit until the end of September. And the end of September just so happened to be on a Friday. But instead of ending it on Friday night, they left it open through the weekend. And what that really means to me, more than anything, is that they are experimenting a little bit more with how making the game a little bit more free could actually still let the game be sustainable from a financial standpoint. I don't really want to be optimistic without having more clues than, you know, the Steam player base, because again, it's just not enough of a sample size for me to draw too many big conclusions. But all I'll say is if you can have the same number of players playing the game as you do when a new world releases, and that's normal throughout the year, imagine how many players you'll get when an actual new world releases from that point. It's like jump padding every big update. Like, especially if they can make updates happen a little bit more frequently than they have been, it could make the game so much more vibrant, so much more approachable, and a lot more players could play the game. I do have a feeling that this is the direction that they're gonna be headed as soon as they can, and I think that they're gradually going towards that route. But I really want to know if they actually are going to be looking at the data from this month, because it's not often that you're going to have someone who hacks a game, it goes viral, you get a bunch of people playing the game. It's like an insanely amazing experiment that you would have otherwise not been able to do. This is all behavioral stuff, and I feel like I hope they take advantage of this more than any other time that they've ever had. What do you guys think the Wizard101 should do? You think they should just make the game free, but then add a membership with all these benefits attached? And do you really think they would lose a lot of revenue doing that? Or do you think that, you know, like, there's still crowns, people are still going to buy crowns, people are going to still buy things, it's Wiz, like, you know, it's still going to happen. I'm really curious, because I think this is one of the biggest weeks that Wiz has had, and I think it's our time more than ever to weigh in as players as well. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, drop a comment, drop a sub if you're new. I look forward to reading all your comments, y'all. As always, if somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they do so. Let me know your opinions on this. It's a hot topic, so I really want to know. Stay awesome, y'all. And yeah.